Episode 8, and surprise, surprise, Jordan, not Jordan, Joe and Madison are in an argument about. He asked her about being sure if she was nervous or and she said no, she's so sure, and he was like, really, you're sure? And then she just got super defensive. She went off. She was like, if me being sure about us is making you feel uncomfortable, then maybe we shouldn't do this. And she asked him if he knew what he signed up for. um which I was asking myself that about her when she was doing all that whine, that crying, when they were on vacation. He then, like what usually happens when they argue, he kind of he tries to back it up, and he's like, I'm just saying, aren't you a little, are you worried? That made her even more angry. She went off and she took her ring off, and she said, "Oh, if you want me to be a negative bitch, then I'll be a negative bitch." And he said, "I don't think you are. I don't. I She may not be a negative one, but she's a whiny one for sure." Jordan and Megan go to his apartment, and they're talking, and she brings up the whole dad connection. I forgot her dad is part of the reason why she picked Jordan, because of his son having diabetes, and her dad did too. Allie and Anton. I haven't said a lot about them, but this episode they came across really odd. Like, they both worked night shifts, so they had just gotten off work, and he wanted to have mimosas. She made little comments like, "Oh, I'm not used to doing this after work, like drinking." And then their conversation went into finances and how she wants to continue to have Botox. She brings that up a lot. She doesn't look like she had Botox, so whoever's doing is doing a good job. But she she said she's going back to school, and she said to him, um, you know, will you be able to support both of us if I'm not working, or if I'm only working a little bit? He said, well, 2 times a week would probably be fine. She said, can you take care of both of us, and can I still have Botox? And he was like, well, I don't know about that. And she said, school's pretty expensive. And she said, when I went back to school last time, I lived at home and my mom did everything. And she said, my mom took care of me. My mom, she did all the cleaning. And she said, cleaning is not a priority to her, especially when she goes back to school. And then they started talking about bank accounts and joint bank accounts. And she said, yeah, I think we should, if we have joint bank accounts, we should have separate bank. She doesn't see anything wrong with having separate bank accounts as well. And he was like, well, why would you need a separate bank account? And she said, well, maybe I don't want you to know how much I spend on Botox. Again, Botox. And if you're going to want him to pay for it, he's going to know anyway. So then he switched the conversation to getting sweaters, matching or sweaters that say Mr. and Mrs. That was weird. And she was like, okay, I don't, they're definitely not going to get married, because I don't even think I think he gives her like the ick, because just her responses to him. And some of it might be her personality, but it doesn't seem like she's really feeling him. So then, um, she said sure she'll do it, but you could tell she didn't really want to, and she said it was corny. So then afterwards they kiss, and she's like, can you close your eyes, because I guess he had his eyes open before when they were on vacation. And she's like, close your eyes when you kiss, it's weird or whatever. So I just think she's weirded out by him. So Edmund's mom shows up to meet Calabria, and yeah, they're a lot. I can see a little bit why Edmund's like he is. um she's sitting there talking to Edmund, and to be honest, a lot of what his mom was saying was didn't make sense to me, not really. So I was half listening to her, but she kind of made a she said she was talking about she feels a grandchild coming on, and all that. And then when she was talking to Calabria, she was like, what coconut hit you in the head? What made you pick my son? I'm like, what? I mean, we're all thinking that, but for her to say it. And she started talking about her other daughter-in-laws and how they rat her out to the sons, and it just none of it, it was just so weird. But then again, that goes right along with Edmund, I guess. Joe and Madison are back at his apartment, and they're back on. Jordan meets Megan's family, or sister and mom. They really like him. Madison meets Joe's family, and everything's all good. They seem to like her. until they see the show. Okay, so Allie meets Anton's friends, and this is, I guess, his friend he's been friends with for a long time, and this is his girlfriend. I think they've been together for like 6 months. So they're all getting along, and then the girls get up to go to the bathroom, and the conversation is, Allie was asking her about, or telling her that Anton said that I can't think of his name, but he partied a lot, and he was the one who always wanted to party, and his friend said they always went to strip clubs, and she said it wasn't just him, it was Anton too. They were both partying a lot. Allie didn't like that. So when they get back to the table, Allie's so mad she can't even wait. And well, she did wait, but she couldn't wait to say something. So she told him, "Oh, she's eating." She's like, "You're in trouble." And he was like, "What?" And she's like, "Can't talk about it right now." And this is the look on his face, like, "What the hell did she tell him?" Or what the hell did she tell Allie in the bathroom? But the fact that Allie didn't think he was the one that he wanted to party just as much as his friend is kind of weird to me. But anyway, it ended there. So come back for episode 9.